Decimal Point Analytics Unplugged podcast invites you on a journey into ever-evolving world of technology and business. Each episode explores the most recent innovations and insights shared by experts from diverse fields such as data analytics, AI, finance, and technology. Our esteemed guests are the visionary leaders who bring a wealth of experience to the table, offering valuable insights into the challenges and opportunities presented by our modern world. Tune in to gain a deeper understanding of cutting edge developments in today's business landscape. I'm your host for today, Madhura Thande. In today's job market, competition for skilled professionals is higher than ever, and organizations need to be strategic in their approach to hiring and retaining top performers. In our latest edition of our podcast series, we are excited to welcome our CPO Arun Singh. With over 12 years of extensive experience in managing human resource functions, he will share his insights on how to create a strong employer brand, build effective talent acquisition strategies, and implement best practices for employee retention. Welcome, Arun. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Madhura. It's my pleasure and privilege to be part of this session. And based on my experience, all the knowledge and learning which I have, I would like to share with you in this journey.
Great. So let's begin today's session by understanding your role in decimal point analytics.
So, as my designation says, I am Chief People Officer for Decimal Point. So, I have to take care of all the people practices for Decimal Point, starting with recruitment, employee lifecycle management, with all strategic initiatives around people practices in Decimal Point.
Wonderful. Can you elaborate on how analytics play importance in HR field?
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's a very interesting question, and we are at back when there is a company called PwC, and they started trying to analytics in India and analytics based benchmarking. But that time, analytics was in a shape where you have to evolve through a journey where you need to have mature data set. Then you start doing descriptive analytics, then diagnostic analysis. Then you move to a journey of predictive and prescriptive analytics. But now there's something called behavioral analytics. So in this behavioral analytics, it helps you to do a lot of things, and I will come on those things. But this gave you a privilege to start doing your prescriptive analytics or predictive analytics right now. So if you are doing behavioral analytics and you are using behavioral analytics, you don't need to walk through the entire journey. Otherwise, earlier organization used to struggle because they don't have data. So analytics have helped HR in a very long way. Let's say we are talking about recruitment. So earlier when you do recruitment, you need to walk through a journey where you have some JD, then you will do a manual, mapping of individual to JDs. Now you will see their JD which are marked star. So 5-star JD, 6-star based on mapping. So we have tools and technology using analytics. So they map JD and they get aligned. Similarly, when you are doing interviews, so you have a lot of analytics around the data that is available with the interviewer for decision making. Similarly, when you are doing compensation, so your best performer should be best paid. So these analytics, when you are creating a culture or team, so you don't need to go and look at data where you try to establish a causal relationship between one data to other data, which typically used to be in HR earlier. So you have like, let's say you have absenteeism. So somebody say if you have high absenteeism, it means your revenue will go down, your productivity will go down. Today you have a lot of content on email, a lot of content on social media, a lot of content. So these content can be used in behavioral analytics, and you can actually use that data. So you have skill data, you have behavioral data. So both the data can be used, and you can actually form, if you have to, let's say, do the team augmentation. So you have to do create high performance team. So you can create high performance team. You when you're making a team, and you want to have different kind of people. Let's say some people who are like very highly out of box thinkers. There are few people who are very highly system thinkers. So they will talk like Six Sigma, everything discipline, rule, regulation, very stringent. So you have both kind of people. So if you want a team which is mix of both, so you can do that behavioral analytics and put a team. So and for engagement, so earlier what used to be on employee engagement, it is like one side fit all. So you have some initiative want to breathe. Now it is very customized solution. So people with the behavioral analytics, you are able to find what is working for what whom, and then you are able to place this. So it has changed the landscape of HR in current time.
That's really interesting scenario in HR industry right now. As we are speaking on some of the trends in the industry, what do you think are some of the trends that will become dominant in 2023?
Right. So if you look at current what people are discussing, the first and dominant trend, which is employee attraction. So though we have one side, before 2023, we have we call great resignation time, where HR was struggling to get people, right? Then we had economic downturn in global economies, and now we have a lot of hiring across companies which were called giants in IT, like Microsoft, Google, everywhere, right? So currently, employees have that kind of say like there's no job security in IT. So employee engagement uh, has become very crucial for HR trend. And when we say employee engagement, we also have area where employee well-being. So it was not only employee health in terms of physical health or his mental health, but also his financial health, because people are worried because of the downturn and economic crisis that is visible in terms of people are talking about it might happen in near future from last 1.5 year in global US market, the UK market. But people are more worried about how they are going to manage. So for HR, it's have become a priority and trying to do work around these areas so that they can work on all the talent. Also, getting talent which is required become very challenging post pandemic. So attracting people, getting those kind of people, what skill you need. Then there is another thing which has become very dominant in current market is diversity and inclusion. So so everybody, you see every leader now talk about inclusion at workplace. So it is not just gender diversity. It is not. It is racial diversity, or it is regional. It is also skill, behavior, is education. So now people are. You will see the trend. People are not looking at just education for giving some skill. They'll just look at skill. If you have a skill and current modern day so-called digital skill in service function or technical skill in terms of delivery functions, whether you are in IT delivery or data operation or data analytics delivery. So people are looking at those things. And on people side, now people are looking at more people who are holistically as a human, quote unquote human, because people human intelligence, or we'll say emotional intelligence, has become more important now in current context, because people expect leaders to be human when they are interacting with people, and rewards become very different. So people are now talking about customized. So HR is product uh, rather than HR as a service, and people are talking about reward as customer reward. So which is like earlier you should companies have a reward which is common to all the employees, so one size fit all kind of concept. Now people are trying to see what is customized, and it is more customized and individualistic reward. So something work for you might not work for me. So reward and recognition have become very dominant trend in the market.
Mhm.
So these are the few area which people are talking, and which are like become challenge for HR, and it is evolving towards that style of leaders. Also, if you look at the change pre-pandemic, then your global firing and then hiring, then retention. So there is a lot of expectation from HR, I will say, on agility of HR. So HR needs to evolve itself day by day. And earlier in HR used to have like a devil rich, HR operating model. Now HR is becoming more agile and it need to change its operating model. And change management and agile methodology become norms for HR. So any HR which want to like sustain and meet business objective, they need to evolve themselves continuously, and it's become very challenging. So agile or agility has been ingrained into HR, and it's become very dominant for HR professional. I mean, it's a key skill.
Understood. Seems like a lot is happening in HR field and it
Yes.
is rapidly evolving.
Yes.
Right. Can you share your thoughts on HR digitalization or HR tech sharing in that will be dominant in future?
Yes. So you must have seen there was a lot of discussion on social media platform on chat GTP. So chat GTP has uh, actually people were talking, will there be HR, a need for HR or not? But the way I look at uh, it entire its tech intervention or tech evolution, that it is going to make HR more efficient and productive. And ChatGTP, if I say it's a platform which is a chatbot in the sense which use generative AI to bring the answers. So there will be a, a skill which will, I think, now all HR professional will need. Not only HR, most of the professionals who work, it's called prompt engineering. So when we put some question to ChatGTP, it answers. But depend on what kind of question, what the keywords that you use in that question, how you craft your questions, accordingly you get the answer from chat gtp. So if we look at recruitment, okay, recruitment have become very efficient and very, it's have reduced time for recruitment for hr. And so if let's say hr has to make a job description, chat gtp is very useful in creating. You can get any job description available and you can just customize and use it. So I recently heard LinkedIn was working to work on JDs and jobs which can be used chat using ChatGPT. You can work on those and apply using ChatGPT. So now companies are working on even evaluation. So there will be a chatbot which will take your interviews, and you can use those evaluation using ChatGPT. So initial your screening time, your management time will get reduced in terms of your performance analytics. So you have your people and you want to see your high performing people in most critical role. So those positions where you can get data using those APIs that are used in chatbots. Similarly, when you are doing uh, employee engagement, or you want to increase employee experience, so-called employee experience, so you will have a lot of, so if you want to know, you can go chat gtp and you will get so many examples where if you want to do employee engagement activities, you want to nominate yourself a great place to work, you want to best practices, you can go to chat gtp and you can get your answers. So each dimensions of hr, there is something we can get it from chat gtp. Of course you have to put the human element into it. You have to craft it in the context of your organization and in context of your overall strategy, but overall it is going to be very helpful. But yeah, hr, other than their functional or hr skill or current way hr works, hr will need to work and update their skill on around the technology. So if you look at hrms, even hrms are also not that updated the way technology have evolved. So earlier I was using Oracle Fusion. I have used SuccessFactor. I'm currently using Darwin Box in DPA. But the way technology evolve, HRMS have not evolved. But still, they have given me a space where I can, automate my transactional processes. So you reduce a lot of your time which you spend on transactions. So which give you more productivity in terms of you need less people. You can contribute more to business on working business strategy. So people who are working at HRBP, they can align more, add value to the business than doing the transactional thing. So it has actually helped a lot and also created a challenge because now you have technology to perform and become more efficient, then you have to add value,
Wonderful.
right? Yeah,
Seems like human resources will continue to require human touch to it while
right,
heavily relying on technology.
right.
Yeah, wonderful. And before we end today's session, any career advice to students who are looking to kickstart their career in HR field?
Yes, why not? So in HR, so if I look at the colleges, so and the current paradigm of HR, there is a lot of disconnect. Okay, so when you spoke to college, people do study all the theoretical, which is important and critical, but things change very fast in industry and particularly in tech industry. So students or academia need to come closer and get aligned the curriculum which we are actually using. So let's say if I talk about performance management, which we used to study, we typically study MBO. The operating model which we study, we typically uh, study operating model, which is developed model of HRBP, your center of excellence, and your shared services. But these things have evolved very fast. But in college, we study the same thing still. So students need to uh, take advantage of current technology, social media, and evolve themselves beyond what they are studying in college. Try to get more practical exposure and learn technology. So analytics is one area which is now college, a lot of college, mainly they are teaching people Power BI, uh, Tableau to HR students as well. They are learning, but I think they need to go much deeper into functional expertise along with the technical expertise. And this other area which the recent disruption with the help of chat GTP. So I think people need to learn the art of prompt engineering, whether you are HR or non-HR. This is going to be, generative AI going to be a future of technology, and you be in any field you have to learn and be with it. So that's my take on this.
That's some very insightful answer. And of course, students will benefit from understanding what is the expectation from companies like us, when while hiring them. So, as the current episode of Decimal Point Analytics Unplugged draws to a close, we would like to express our sincere appreciation to Arun for sharing valuable insights on prevailing trends in HR and imparting his knowledge on how businesses can build a strategic approach to attract and retain top talent in industry. If you're keen to hear more on human resources, data analytics, and finance and technology, stay tuned to Decimal Point Analytics Unplugged for upcoming episodes. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review us, and share this episode with your colleagues and friends. Thank you for listening, and we look forward to seeing you on the next episode of Decimal Point Analytics Unplugged.